So ValOre is a member of the Discovery Group, which is an alliance of 10 publicly listed individually operating companies. You're probably familiar with some of the names on the page there. Great Bears speaking later today, great story. Kodiak Copper is on a discovery in BC, Porphyry. Fireweed Zinc, Bluestone, all making great waves in the market these days. So it's an honor to be amongst those in the group. And what we'll do next is tell you a little bit about the capital structure at ValOre and a bit about the team. We have an ongoing financing right now, so we're pro forma, about 140 million shares out. We're trading at around a 3-year high at the moment, and tell you a little about why that is in a couple slides. But we're led by strong insider ownership, over 20% of the company, and very strong team with a proven track record for deploying exploration dollars effectively. And also, as you can see on the right, a lot of pretty impressive transactions within the group over the past few years. ValOre is actually a spin-off from Camnac Gold, who was acquired by Gold Corp, Coffee Gold deposit in Yukon for $500 million there. So very exciting, very, very strong insider ownership, and a track record for proven deals. So here's a quick summary of our project portfolio. As you can see, there's a focus on uranium exploration in Canada, as well as a PGE project in Brazil. So we do have as well a district scale gold play on Baffin Island. But the two core assets as it stands now are Anglac Uranium and Pedra Branca PGE project. So you can see those two assets are similar in the sense that they're large land packages. They both have fairly current 43-101 resources. They both have significant historical expenditure as well as ValOre expenditure, and we're both actively working these projects. So what I'll do first is focus on Pedra Branca in Brazil, and we'll zip up to Anglac after that. So Pedra Branca is located in northeastern Brazil in the state of Ceará, and you fly into the capital city of Fortaleza, which is population about 3 million people, deepwater port, brand new international airport. And then it's paved highways go right to the site from Fortaleza. So you have your choice of two. These highways actually carry on right to Brasilia. And as you can see in the top right there, we base our project operations in a beautiful small village of Capital Mor, population of a little over, well, you'd think it's less, but 900 people. And very well situated for infrastructure there. There's lots of electrical lines throughout the project area. The access is excellent. As you can see, it's not rainforest. It's very, very arid, dry terrain. And so no concerns environmentally. And it's extensively developed with respect to agriculture. So, and the other thing is that we've fostered a very positive relationship with the local communities. They work with us intimately. And so we're very grateful to have their support, of course. So the project area is large, as I said, over 55,000 hectares, and this encompasses 70 kilometers or over 70 kilometers of prospective geological trend known as the Troy Unit, which is an Archean mafic to ultramafic belt, which hosts all the PGE deposits and mineralization at Pedra Branca. As you can see as well, extensive historical spend, namely by majors such as Anglo American Platinum. They were with the project for about 11 years and spent the lion's share of the $35 million. You may ask why they're not still there. At the time, they were really looking for a project that would significantly offset ounces coming out of the Bushveld. So their internal hurdle was about 15 million ounces. They moved on from the project, and what that meant for us is they left a highly developed but underutilized data set. For example, they flew property-wide airborne geophysics in 2013. They wouldn't even look at an anomaly that was less than 4 kilometers in size. So they left a lot of fruit on the tree for an explorationist group like ourselves. And the bonus as well, working in Brazil, it's highly cost-effective exploration. We're all in at about $140 a meter, everything in. So we're really able to drill a lot on not a whole lot of capital and advance things very efficiently in that sense. First thing we did when we picked up Pedra Branca was calculate a maiden 43-101 resource. As you can see, it's a little over 1 million ounces, 2 PGE plus gold. That's palladium plus platinum plus gold, just a straight summation, no equivalence there. It's about a 2-to-1 palladium to platinum ratio. And as you can see, there is significant expansion potential. I'll show you a couple slides on that coming up here. But one of the things we really liked about the resources, these things are at surface. The deposit you're looking at here in 3D view, this is the Esparro deposit. It's about 400,000 of the million ounces. And this thing is fully at surface. The strip is essentially zero. And we drilled this thing this year for resource continuity, but also for metallurgical sample. And you can see some of the intervals on the right-hand side, 77 meters of just shy of 3 grams from surface. And that was fairly consistent across the ore body. I mean, you know, you're literally walking on mineralization from tip to tip. And it's the same case at all the other deposits as well. They're tabular sort of ore bodies. They're generally very shallowly dipping. And in the case of Esparro, it dips sympathetic with the topography, so the strip is very, very low. Now, the drilling we've done, as you'll see in the next slide, has focused about half on resource expansion. So we nominated and identified Santo Amaro and Trapia as having the most potential in that front. Curuyu, Cedro, and Esparro are quite well constrained. They're within about 5 kilometers of each other, and they've been drilled the most. But we saw a lot of upside in the other two. So what you're looking at here is the plan maps, all the same scale, and within the black dashed lines are the drill holes which comprise the 2019 43-101 resource estimate. Everything else you see outside the lines, those are holes that we have drilled in the last 2 years. And they're coded by gram meters. So, you know, the bigger the dot, the more red it is, the better the hole. And as you can see, there's great upside at all these target areas. We're working towards a recalc in Q1 of next year. So, you know, lots of exciting potential on this for sure. We will now zip our coats up and put our toques on and head way north to the Anglac Uranium Project in Nunavut. This is much like Pedra Branca. This is a district scale exploration project with upside for uranium, precious metals, and base metals. It hosts the LAC 50 trend deposits, which there's an inferred resource estimate on NF 4301, and highly explorable, highly expandable. And as you can see, it's a high-grade resource. It's the highest outside the Athabasca, and it is one of the highest on a global basis as well. So just over 43 million pounds at 0.69% U3O8. It's denoted by the large red stars on the map on the left there. And the pre-resource targets in which we've drilled, we've hit resource-style uranium on parallel analogous-looking conductors. Those are in the small stars. So as you can see, there's huge expansion potential, and it's going to be a big focus for us in the next couple of years here. We spent over $55 million advancing this project. Most of that's on drilling. Obviously, the cost per meter is a few bucks more in Nunavut versus Brazil, but we've also done metallurgy, and metallurgy is very favorable, very great recoveries, and beneficiation is very, very positive as well. So I'll tell you a little bit about what we're going to be doing with Anglac, but before that, quick granular look at the resource, 3D block models here on the right. And as you can see, it's very well constrained, over 330 holes, over 60 kilometers of drilling into the thing. You can see there's extensive openness left within the existing resource, both down plunge but along strike. And as I mentioned before, there's a lot of pre-resource targets in what we've drilled, we've hit. They just lack the current drill density required for a resource at this stage. So obviously a big focus for us in the coming programs. So how are we going to make that number grow, and how are we going to advance this project? Well, we are engaged right now in a district-wide targeting review. And so what we're doing is we're reprocessing the entire geophysical database, entire geochemical database, and we're adding to it high-quality worldview spectral data. A lot of buzzwords on there, panchromatic, Vernier, SWIR, all that stuff. But basically, what this allows us to do is to zoom in on outcrops of mineralization, prospective alteration, even uraniferous boulders, down to a scale of 30 centimeters, and take a spectral fingerprint of that rock, that material. Then we scan the whole data set, and it gives us a whole bunch of anomalies. So you'd never want to use this data set as a standalone data set because it gives you so much. But when you combine it with geochemistry, geophysics, even drilling data, it's a very compelling data set to use. And it's something we've used at Pedra Branca and had great success with. And so we'll be applying that to Anglac as well. As mentioned before, we have spent over $55 million exploring this thing, so we have a lot of great data to use. So we're reprocessing both the geochemical and geophysical data sets. And to support this targeting initiative, we have an ongoing financing whereby next week we should have about $11 million in the bank to allocate to Anglac. 'Next year. So exciting times for the project. And without further ado, yeah, I mean, these are the catalysts for growth this year. We have 2 drills still spinning at Pedra Branca as we speak. We're closing in on the end of a 10,000 meter drill program from this year. We drilled about 6,000 meters last year, and all this is working towards a resource recalc in the first quarter of 2022. We have a MET program going at ALS at Kamloops right now for Pedra Branca, and we should leave the year with about 1.2 million in the treasury. At Anglac, as I said, we're reprocessing major data sets, geophysics, geochemistry. We've added to it worldview spectral data, and all this will be applied next year as we finish the financing next week. 11 million bucks in the bank, and that'll be deployed at Anglac next year to grow the resource and advance that project. So thanks for